Alright, returning to Sunless Seas. We just got into Rock. And there's another port next to it. Actually going to buy 2 more fuel, just so I can get to that one and then head back to London. We're making good progress. Oh, we also got that guy. What's this? Torpedoes. We can't use that right now. Where's the Nook? I really want to find the Nook. That's my favorite one. I really like the Nook. Oh, it's the Nook! Yes! Oh, hello. This is my favorite underwater. This is my favorite place. Hello. The Nook. Nook. Edge of the Nook. A gape in this colossal sea monster's throat has been forced open with thick, heart metal beams. They strain under the pressure but hold. As you pass through, your submarine lights pass over a message carved in a floating piece of some unfortunate's hull. Beyond is Nook, beyond is freedom, beyond is... the rest is scratched out. Enter Nook. Water presses against the airlock door. The breathing and slithering of the beast gives it the rhythm of a drumbeat. Trespasser in freedom. You don your heavy diving suit and give the order to cycle the airlock. Water rushes in and you begin the slow swim down into the port. It soon becomes obvious that you are overdressed for the occasion. The people of Nook swim and breathe in the cloudy maw water with no apparent discomfort. Most are naked, with just a few clad in rotten rags that stream from their skin with no concern for modesty. None will communicate with you, if even they can. Those who acknowledge your presence just laugh silently at your bulky suit and unnecessary air hose. You'll need a different approach. It can leave a bitter aftertaste. Descend naked into Nook. At least you're unlikely to run into anyone you know. You undress, every button, every stitch. The door opens. Ice-cold water rushes upwards. Instinct holds your mouth shut. 10 seconds. 20 seconds. Your lungs burn. Holding in the last gulp of air, your legs thrash. You can't hold it in. It escapes. You're choking on water. It forces its way into your lungs, the air of burning salt, suffocating every attempt to gasp, scream, or then through exhaustion and panic, you realize you're breathing. It's hard work. Your lungs fight against the weight, but it's enough. You can tolerate it, at least for now. Its liberal application of wine will make the process easier in future. Bring a cask. Beast quivers with distaste at your trespass. Freedom is never stagnant. Waves select with light. Currents. Your Nook tolerance is 3. More of it you breathe, the less you remember air. A torn, pinned-back cavity of flesh wall offers access to the city's monstrous host. Razor teeth the size of buildings jut from fancy garnet red flesh. Many teeth have quarried out into homes barricaded by scraps of wood from shipwrecks. Swim upward to the Great Maw. Attempt to mingle with the Nook folk. They may be friendlier now than you're fashionably addressed. Compile a port report. Nothing here has anything to hide. Actually, no one here is hiding anything. Take from the weak. There's only one law here, survival of the fittest. Return to the submarine. Better not leave the crew waiting too long. Swim downwards to the serrated abyss. Let's do a port report. Notes on the Nook. A vile place, festering, acidic, no laws but those of tooth and claw written in scars. Civilization? Impossible. Making tea would be a logical impossibility. Yet the inhabitants seem content. Many have come here from London, Connaught, the presbyterate, abandoning cultured life for this tenuous existence. They grin, their mouths full of stolen flesh, or float naked and carefree. Many have nothing and lose nothing, and nothing to lose. A group of swimmers dart past, hunting gleefully. One squeezes your shoulder companionably. You've never met her before. A great mouth on the sea floor, home to a lawless aquatic culture. You know, it kind of reminds me of the Mystery Flesh Park, Mystery Flesh Pit. A little bit lost in Nook thing. Attempt to mingle with the Nook folk. Lost in freedom. They acknowledge your presence, but little more. Most shrink back, assuming you mean harm. Others deliberately swim just above you in a crude attempt at intimidation. They carry bone knives or tooth-tipped spears. A few gesture to you in welcome? Invitation? It is unclear. The slight gluttonous waters make speech impossible. So natives have developed this language of signs. You can interpret the most basic. A finger pulled across the throat, for example, is one more polite invitations to depart. Swim downward. Down here, the water is cloudy, its greens streaked by dissipating patches of coppery red. Only a few teeth still protrude from the walls. Instead, razor-sharp hairs line them, rippling gently in the current. Twist up. Trade solace fruit for phosphine nodules. They will be a rare treat for the Nook folk. Sample some Nookweed. A circle of Nook folk scrape what looks like a thin algae from the smaller teeth and chew it like snuff. Their eyes flutter, then bulge, brimming with visions. Swim downward. The Blymus Clef. Few Nook folk swim this deep, where the water is foggier than a London pea souper. Foul gas bubbles up from the beast's gut, acidic enough to sting your eyes. Search the phosphine nodules. The Nook folk use them for light. Guard them closely. When they do, they drop them. The nodules sink down here, glowing between teeth. Intimidate phosphine nodule from nervous Nook folk. A ragged band squabbling over glowing nodules. They stop when you approach, reconsidering you. They know to be afraid. Okay. Down the Riven Gullet. Is at least centuries old. Its stomach passages are a labyrinth. Who knows what you might find lodged in there? You descend deeper. How far down will you go in search of treasure? You swim through a foul labyrinth of passages and intestines. Your eyes sting with every stroke. The water grows even more bilious. Keep swimming down into the gullet. Anything could have been found its way down here, or anyone. I need a nodule. Leave the Writhing Gullet. This has gone deep enough. You can return later. Okay, where's the one? Swim up. Ruptured throat. The Great Maw. A twitching cathedral of ivory and flesh and decay. The maw curves far enough to be swallowed by the darkness of the sea. Entire shipwrecks and have been mulched between hooked teeth like dwarf London mighty monuments. Gaze up through them all. Not many sailors have seen the Z from this angle. Investigate an etched-tooth house. A flinty latitudinarian keeps its upper cavities filled with compressed air, allowing a number of activities otherwise impossible in the watery nook. I'm going to try this one. The external surface of the tooth is covered with engravings, rows of battling soldiers, some with heads of dogs, a mountain ablaze, ships riding on a river, and each ship has a human mouth. You swim inside and up to chambers of edgy air. In the cavities of his etched-tooth home, trapped air pockets allow an activity largely forsaken in Nook, conversation. A handful of Nook folk gather there to reminisce. Brevity is admired, that air is precious, and rapidly fouls. The latitudinarian watches and listens. He keeps a merciless peace within his house, and cares not a damn for what happens outside it. Tell your recent news and listen to their stories in turn. Turn to the great maw. Back into the Nook water, back out to the great throat. Gaze up through the maw. Not many sailors see the thing from this angle. Crunching, writhing beauty. Light glitters where the false stars shine on the surface of the sea, framed by the maw's dominant teeth. How ancient is this creature? What happened if it swallows? 0. Does that mean I have to go back? A taste of freedom. Time to leave. Your lungs, unaccustomed to breathing water, begin to labor. You must return to your ship. Old habits. There, the bright light of your submarine's high beam. The airlock, home. You swim into the airlock, alert. The crew, air flows in. You retch the last of the Nook water from your lungs. Return to the crew. Air again, how refreshing. The crew salutes you as you pass. Good, all is well. Anything that happened in the Nook shall remain in the Nook. I definitely have to come back here. This is my favorite spot. And we didn't have fun. You can have fun in the Nook. I won't say what kind of fun, but you can have fun. Alright. The teeth, the yawning maw, a scattering assembly of traders, smugglers, and shoppers. Okay, get my fuel. There. Roused at midnight. As the first watch ends, shouts forward rouse you. Your bosun stands is grim, faces grim as you emerge from your cabin. We lost one, weighted himself with pans and gave himself to the deeps. Took cook's best kettle too, morale worsens, Captain. Distribute an extra ration of rum. Sailors are rarely grateful for grog. Place a guard on the cookware. Sometimes it's just best to be seen doing something practical. Address the crew. Remind them all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well if only you have courage. Alright. Get drunk, everybody. It hasn't helped with discipline, but the mood aboard is perceptibly better. Dang it. Losing crew like flies here. We really need to get back to... Alright. Ascend and let's get back to London. We're down to so much crew now. Yeah, and we're moving slower as a result. Oh boy. Shepherd's Wash, a salty hinterland. Can't run from this. But we can fight it. Alright, any of you want to join our cruise, survivors? Ship is yours. What do you do with her? Loot and scuttle her. She's a vile old vessel, and these aren't safe. Take what you can and move on. Ooh. Stout crate. Very nice. Why does having less crew make me go slower, though? In all seriousness. Does anyone want to sign on? I haven't done any of these. Tales of Standing Stones, Tales of Three Graves, Tales of Thornwell Croft. Shall we have 3 graves? Up from the Z-bed. You know, the drownies, the sailors that won't rest, well, they rest here. I seen them come out of the water all white and dripping, dig themselves into the ground. They take turns. I think they miss the feel of the earth. Right. Slow going, so I'm probably skip ahead, just no narration. I'm gonna scoop it up this time. A spreading stain. It's gone. You're left with gooey gloves and a buttery smell. And this purple thing. Is it an egg, a heart, a less fortunate traveler, dissolved and shriveled to mauve ruin? Put it somewhere safe. Alright. Back into London. I have those port reports for the underwater places, but I'm just going to sell them here so I can get more money. I really want to get a new ship if I'm able. Alright, I don't think I have anything tied. Scholar wants to see me. Trinkets, just trinkets. The man is waiting is not a cultist. He is just another ordinary citizen wearing a silken blindfold. In a few years, perhaps everyone will be wearing them. Deliver the trinkets to the waiting man. Still a firmly sealed crate of what are absolutely not sorrow spider eggs. Well, that's a relief, or maybe you just got lucky. Either way, they made it. So did you. Someone else's problem now. What was the address on the crate? The Shuttered Palace, on second thought. Since hardly matters. Okay, got 100 pegos for that. Admiral. Port reports for you. Port Cecil. Station 3. Excuse me, let me just call a colleague in. Omitted. This is my colleague, Mr. Valen, of the Ministry of Public Decency. Mr. Valen, this good captain's report is here. If you would care to... Yes, the fire is always lit. Let us... There we go. Now only ashes remain. It might have caused such a lot of trouble. Thank you, Captain. We appreciate your discretion. Here is your payment. You need not trouble yourself further in this affair. On the very edge of London's influence, curious matters are conducted. Abbey Rock. Pigmont Island. Isle. I'm not certain I heard you correctly. Are you quite certain this report is the wish you make? So be it. You have seen firsthand the rodent war. Mangrove College. Polytherne, the king with 100 hearts. What a useful fellow. Without his exports, I'd be delivering my own coal. Alright, let's sell some stuff we don't need first. This spider silk. Empire pans. Oh goodness, what are those accursed monkeys up to these days? You didn't bring any of them back with you, did you? Such a ghastly pace. A pause. You know, there was someone here asking about it only recently. Delightful lady, as I recall. Most delightful. Yes, I shall take the liberty of forwarding her your address. You return from the land, soul-stealing monkeys. Estival. We have always wondered if this might be a myth. Shellnet. Is it still revolting, as they say? What about the smell? Let's get rid of these. Wisdom. Brr. Do the oracles look hungry? Irem. Oh God, what tense is it written in? Oh God, look, just read it to my colleague here. He'll give you your fee. I'll be over there when you're done. You will return to Irem. Egul. Ah, Station 6. One hears strange stories. Hideaway. A city on a what? Let me get some... I do have more port reports, but... Let's first see here. Let's get a Zailer. Crew. Let's get our crew back. Okay, full crew. Repair our ship. Okay, and before we do anything else, let's see, let me give you some stuff. A little present from the scholar. You've been so very helpful. I wanted to give you something for your next voyage. I bottled it myself. What did you give me? Eel flesh. Share it. Or just some supplies. I don't have my space. This is why I need a bigger ship. I'm sorry. I need to... Let me... Before I do anything else, let's drop these stuff off. We have... the clayman and the mirror catch box, which means if we come here with the engineer, it'll do something. It'll also free up some space so I can have more stuff. All right. What do you mean? Ah. So I need claymen. I actually need them. Oh man. Okay, so it's not that then. Dang it. Well, we have the mirror catch box, but we don't need the clayman. We then need to have the clayman in our hold. At least we know where it is now. I thought it was the other one, but apparently not. Dang it. Well, anyway, let's at least try to sell as much stuff so we could possibly get a better ship. One with more storage. Okay, shops. Okay, sold all I can do. Let's have a Deuce Terror. Lodgings. Purchase an elegant townhouse. Invitation to the Benthic College. Later. Let's see. Port reports. Okay. Can't port. You saying you've been where? Port submitted. Here they come, the smirking requests from every captain in the place, all wanting to know if you found their lost pocket watches. By the time the clerk pays up, it's clear he's paying more for the amusement than information. Okay. Nook. So you've been to the Great Ball, have you? Get rid of you. I don't need you. Wild. I want to read it. I can't. Alright, let me clear up some space so I can actually read that stuff. What can you do with those wreckers? Still not enough for things. All right, let's pick up that one person. Let's see, what do we need? 3,000 echoes. Okay. Getting there. It's gonna take a bit. Well, making headway. Okay. Lennox. Invitation to Benthic College. Your travels have caught someone's attention. Benthic College is pleased to invite you to an exclusive and educational evening with Lady Agatha Threadgold, delightful adventures and rancor-tus of thrilling true tales of feist and spunk. On the back is a scribed note. Come speak to me afterwards, darling. Opportunity beckons. Attend the lecture. Not at the moment. The opportunities are always worth exploring, at least. A trip to Benthic. Benthic is the most open-minded of the London colleges. You find yourself waiting for the lecture and queue of the students, devils, and bohemians, observed with some scorn by passers-by in Somerset colors. The delightful adventuress. Her feet had trodden lands most in the neath, have never even heard of. Her eyes have seen every opportunity of fame and glory while there. An evening with the delightful adventuress. Whoever she is, she knows how to pack a hall. Not a seat is empty as she takes the stage. The fine cuisine of the Chalonat, the daring claymen, all but a prelude, my dears. Her stories tend toward the fanciful and conveniently unprovable, but the delightful adventuress has the credulous audience spellbound for hours. Many of her tales of monsters and lost cities have a common theme. She visited them ahead of a certain Lady Lenora Fortescue, the quite adorable, daring archaeologist, with whom she sparked a bracing rivalry back at finishing school. The rest are tales, bitter as the sourest grapes, of being cheated with triumphs by the very same Fortescue, whose fanciful fictions are fit only for the penny dreadfuls. By the end, her stories are notably more bitter than boastful. She still receives a standing ovation. A delightful proposition. The delightful adventuress, masked clay man Barbas, escorts you to the principal of Benthic's study, where she sits sipping brandy by the fire. Ah, my dear Capitano! Firelight glints in her eyes as she raises the glass. I hear you are recently returned from the empire of, monkeys? Hands? Yes, of course. It is a rare breed that can make such a voyage foolhardy, too, perhaps. She sips her brandy. I wish to charter your no doubt fine vessel to that primitive little island chain. There I shall find what I need to show up the infernal Lenora Fortescue once and for all. And you, the delightful adventuress squints, sizing you up. Sufficient compensation will not be a difficulty. A most mutually beneficial arrangement, you will agree. Except it is a long voyage, but you know the way. Splendid. The delightful adventuress drains her glass dry. Then we shall see you upon the morrow for the voyage. Barnabas, pack my valise. Adventure awaits. You have one delightful venturer, the niece's greatest explorer, in her own mind at least. Take her and her bodyguard to the Empire of Hands. Okay, so we got her. And lastly, Mr. Sachs. The crimson beast of winter will not be drawn by a mere glass of sherry and a mince pie, but a lantern in the window may get its attention if it is still watching. Midnight. Okay. Take my service. A deal is struck. The beast withdraws, its hand from the fireplace examining it, packed lacquer, neath snow. It disappears back into the incrandine cloak. 3 deliveries by your release. Do not tarry. You have much to lose. Mr. Sachs has boarded your ship. You are in service to Mr. Sachs. Take too much time and he might take you. Okay, where are we going? Where do you want to go? Mr. Sachs? Merry Christmas! Okay, so we have some things to do. So we gotta get to Empire of Hands. We gotta get back to Polytherm. Isle of Cats. Yep. So we're gonna go down to Muse, Pigmont, Con Shadow, Isle of Cats, then Reef of Roses, Port Cecil, Polytherm, Empire of Hands. That is our route. Reoccurring nightmares. You have begun to dream of the vast eye. Again and again you are alone on the wide sea. The eye is aware. The eye's back. Okay. Approach Mutton Island. Is there something in the air today? A restless breeze? Approach the dock. It's probably nothing. The moment passes, the ship slides into the dock. Time passes on Mutton Island. Has something changed on Mutton Island? The islands of the sea are always in motion. The service of Mr. Sachs lurks in your hold. It's not a healthy situation for you and your ship or your crew. First delivery. The creature calls for you. It is time to begin. A hunger that can never be satiated. Mr. Sachs is waiting, clutching what looks like a leg of lamb. The meat is rotten, the bone is well chewed. A fool sought a name that devours. It devours him. A lifetime's wealth wasted on cravings that can never be satiated. When all was eaten, he stripped the meat from his fingers in search of solace. Still, the hunger gnawed and screamed in his belly. He thought this pitiful offering of poison might free him. Debts are not so easily paid. Deliver this to Khan's Heart or Pigmont Island. When given your first delivery. Okay. Your haven under new management. Sleek ships are docked in the harbor. Installations of heavy artillery line the shore. The banners of the Eagle Clan, yellow as honey, drape from each roof. Mutton Island has fallen. Attempt to dock. The harbor is reinforced with wire and manned with Cagayan soldiers smuggle refugees to Shepherd Islands. As your vessel passes, muddied islanders emerge from one of the island's coves. They leap and wave rags. Need a rescue attempt. Gather a report. I'm going to attempt to dock. Threatening fire. Torches flare on the shore, illuminating thick-barreled cannons. There's a crack and a shot lands just off your prow. Water from the impact splashes your face. You are not welcome. We're going to leave. I'm going to leave. I'm not taking a chance. Is Pigmont Island on our way? Yes. Port report. T with the vector. I need to start to utilize these lights a little bit more. Terror does not go up this fast around them if I'm in the light of these little lamps. All right, Sax. The rise of Pigmont Island. Help KV resolve a dilemma. An aide runs over. Hairless advisor, you return to us. Praise the tide. We need your wisdom once again. Dilemma, how you advise Pigmont Island. The rat's wine is in high demand, Hairless advisor. The aide twitches its whiskers. We do not wish to take the joy from life, but it has caused many problems, many injuries among our farmers. Our new militia recruits missing their training. Do we step in or turn a blind eye? Recommend prohibition. A sober workforce is a harder working workforce, probably not a happier one. Recommend turning a blind eye. Even rodents need something to take the edge off life. I'm going to say, look, prohibition does not work. You just need campaigns of saying, a different outreach. Give them the option, but also have the other things that will satiate their want to numb themselves. Or just provide a better quality of life if you can. A modicum of freedom. The aide seems slightly relieved. Very good, hairless advisor, it squeaks, raising a glass in your honor. You return to town, past a furry heap of soldiers. One particular small guinea pig sleeping in a human-sized cup squeaks happily as you pass. You've lost one pigment mite, one total two danger. Delivery for Mr. Sachs. This is far from enough London, it will suffice. A hunger that can never be satiated. Pigmonth's stored food diminishes quickly. Hungry rats and cavies stare at each other, a new glint passing from eye to eye as the cavies and stomach pangs spread. They stop to watch you in silence as you go past, mouths salivating. In the middle of a small town, a few of the hungriest begin digging a well. 3 Scintillec. Second delivery. Calls to you once again. Mr. Sachs produces a jewel bird. The thief thought it would bring her riches. Perhaps it would. That when the gracious widow and the cheery man both covet what you stole, mere money ceases to be of a concern. You offend one to make an enemy of the other. She sought a third way. A moment of inspiration that came too late. We want no part of this feud. Settle it. Take this to the smuggler's Isle of Cats to favor the widow or the Cheeryman's agent on London Island. Well, we're going to Isle of Cats, so we'll be there in a sec. Let's purchase Scintillec. Let's get a port report going. Captain Whiskers, the Admiral calls you, as you've heard. At least they pay to laugh at your reports. Okay. Very good. Continuing on. Okay, Con Shadow. Get a port report. Doesn't look like we can do anything else. Got a delivery sacks. First, let's do this. So we have enough now. Preposterous price. Alternatively, earn Osmer's alteration to reduce cost. Okay. Royal prerogatives. I have been singing your praises to Leopold. Iziri's eyes warm at the name. You could almost envy the Pirate King. Almost. I would like to introduce you to him. Yes, I think it is time. Imam Papnalis. Though each word they said is carefully measured, but when one beats the king, one needs a right sort of gift. Okay, yeah, we needed to do this. We don't have it yet. Well, we have enough for this, so. The flight from Nida. Iziri removes a jar from a teak cabinet and a spoon of tarnished silver from a drawer. They set them on the desk before you. You scrape out the dregs of crimson honey, barely a spoonful. You lick it clean. The memories take you. You remember panic, disaster, dissociation fragments of a wild flight. Heat, intolerable heat. You stumble. The gemmed flagstones burn your hands. You regained your feet. Behind you came the host of hyenas, fresh from the city of caution, laughing as they slew. Through the broken persimmon gate, still littered with corpses, the basalt walls at your back now black against the blazing shoulder of the mountain, and how it blazed, bright as the sun's skin. Only your goggles of smoke glass kept your eyes from boiling. You remember the desperate journey back down the Scarlet River on living polytheremy ships that grieved for those left behind. A man leans on the railing, black shirt, a church dog collar. Your employer, light on. He turns to look at you. He is bereft. Off the port side, a ship expires from grief and sinks into the red waters. The memories falter. You return to the Isle of Cats. Iziri is there, reading. Ah, you're back. Interesting, no? Someone tried to steal the Presbyterians' immortality. I'd say they were bold, but they failed, which makes them stupid. Still, they got close. Lyton. It is a name you've heard before. It belongs to a certain fierce philanthropist who resides in Port Carnelian. It said that 7 once tried to democratize death. Okay. Let's get a port report. Let's deliver Mr. Sex, caught in the middle. King Leopold examines the small jeweled bird with care and a measure of delight. I do not want to know how you came by this. Should anyone ask, you did not. We shall return it to the owner. Yes, such fine craftsmanship. A true one-of-a-kind creation. He cradles it for a moment and snaps off the head. Deliver this to the widow, he orders, throwing it to his least fortunate smuggler. We have unfavorable deals to renegotiate. I have now 1 filigree for key of red honey. 3rd delivery. The beast stirs in the hold. Lurks in your hold. It's not a healthy situation for you, your ship, or your crew. 3rd delivery. Your final assignment awaits. A life was never lived. Mr. Sachs is staring at a small wooden box as you enter the hold. Inside, wrapped in a few pitiful scraps of velvet, is a lock of blonde hair and a set of teeth, carefully polished, barely used. The winter was harsh. The fire went cold. Later, the mother wished to forget a convenient tragedy. Deliver this to Avid Horizon in the north. Okay. Okay, fueled up. So, okay, Port Cecil, Polytherm, Empire Hands, and we'll do Irem, Palmerston, Avid Horizon, make our way around. Chapel of Lights. Ah, yes, also wreath of roses. Actually, I think this might be a longer one just because I'm going to be a bit more quiet between islands. Oh, wait, is there something here? Oh, Rosegate. Rosegate. It's not so much a port as a shop with a dock. Colored ceiling lights shine onto display cases lining the walls. A large shop counter dominates the room. Cigars, ashtrays, guillotines, matches, and carved boxes are all for sale. Each step here transports you into a new realm. At one moment, the heady aroma of summer flowers, then the earthy fug of fungus, and the bitter warmth of morning coffee, the sickening sweetness of sweat and midnight honey. Witness a reunion. The crotchety tobacconist beckons over the shop counter, annotating a large sheet of paper. He glances up at the dogged apprentice and bites down on his cigar. His face is blackened with soot. Last batch blew up on me. Welcome back. Sample a high-quality cigar. A rosewood box full of cigars sits on the counter. They smell of beeswax. Take a pamphlet. The neatly printed histories of the shop are stacked high on one of the display cases. A notice encourages visitors to take one. All right, this is my port report. Self-published plaudities. The pamphlet describes Rosegate as a cigar shop with a factory on the upper floor. True. Here they produce and sell an unparalleled variety of cigars. Also true. The tobacconist is described as a world-renowned figure, well respected for his dedication to his craft and the brilliance of his creative vision. The pamphlet boasts that his genius will forever alter the tobacconist's art. Well, that remains to be proven. Factory, emporium, and home of underwater cigar. Let's witness this reunion. A man's hope. The crotchety tobacconist reaches across the counter to shake your hand. Our patron has forsaken us. He's only interested in his project to the south. He left my apprentice to starve, and he hasn't arranged a delivery of the materials I require. I've run out of rubies to try to convince him otherwise, which makes your intervention all the more propitious. I don't know. He puffs a great ring of smoke into the air above your head. It takes several moments for the hailer to disperse. My lord, we're on the verge of a tremendous breakthrough. I'm about to create something beautiful, something noble, a cigar which will burn underwater. I think I've finally found the right mixture. He taps the sheet on the counter. It is covered in incomprehensible scrawling, equations beyond the mathematical. 3 flavors, something robust, something bitter, and something luscious. Once I have them, I can finally complete it. An occurrence. Rosary tobacconist patience, cultivating robust flavor to sustain, cultivating a bitter flavor, taste of mild coffee, luscious flavor, taste of stale pastry to burn. Everyone has a dream. Creation of a cigar. The crotchety tobacconist has a dream to create a cigar that can be smoked underwater. With your help, it could come true. Alright, let's see. Mutters something. The crotchety tobacconist mutters to himself while fussing with his notes. Occasionally he glances over his shoulder to the stairs running up one of the sides of his shop. They ascend to a room marked workshop, laboring for the robust flavor. The crotchety tobacconist glowers at the rumbling crate. We'll need to shift the bloody thing up the stairs. Help us get it up there, won't you? Okay. straightforward errands. One labored step at a time, the three of you carry the crate up the stairs. The apprentice takes heavy breaths. The tobacconist swears so often you're uncertain if he breathes at all. Eventually, you make it into the workshop and chain the cargo into the corner. The unfinished bastard. The tobacconist huffs, stretching his back. We got you now. Okay. Can't do those yet. Okay. Sample a high-quality cigar. No, I don't smoke. Nope. Thank you, but no. That is one thing I will not do. Find a cigar shop above or below the waves. Proving ground. The proprietor is interested in testing the limits of flammability. Untershroom sporel. A jewel, a fruit, a tear. Leave that distinction to the botanist. It tastes a little like pine nuts. Hunter's eye. Eat the flesh of the deep lurkers and your eyes will change. Station 3. Heart metal ingot. The ingot of silvery metal drilled fully cold to the touch. Alright, we're still good with the... I'll buy one fuel. Okay, but I think I have reached my limit. I'm starting a little sleepy. So I'm going to end it here. We at least have a very good path we're going to go. Port Cecil, Polytherm, Empire Hands, up to Irem, or actually we'll go straight across to Palmerston. Maybe that one right there. I don't know. I don't remember what that is. Then Abbott Horizon, Chapel of Lights. Kind of takes out most of our spots that we need to go to. But yeah. Getting through it. Doing stuff. I'm actually wondering if I had countered a glitch, because I bought the thing for the prisoner's honey and nothing, I didn't have any decrease in my money, I don't think. I'm not complaining, but I'm just noticing that. Okay. Anywho, hope you're enjoying my gameplay, and I'll be doing this a little bit later. Till then, ciao ciao.